Deep in the mountains lived a small village of happy animals. There was plenty of food. The sky was always blue, and everyone knew everyone else's name. It was there in the heart of the village, underneath a giant tree full of sweet-smelling blossoms, that lived a little fox named Fino. He was a curious little fox, always asking questions about where things came from and how they worked. After helping everyone he met, Fino returned to his grandmother's house. They feasted on delicious food, sang silly songs, and danced the night away under the sparkling stars. Rico was a raccoon who lived deep in the woods beyond the river. How could he bring back the life-giving water to the river or melt the winter frost covering the land? Without the lantern's magic, he wandered through the village, kicking at pebbles on the ground until he found Liana. He climbed the tallest tree and hugged its rough bark until the wind calmed and he felt its warmth fill his body. He couldn't believe his eyes. Even without the lantern, Fino's house was brighter and happier than his own. Feeling ashamed for stealing the lantern, Rico quietly snuck back out and replaced it with a brand new oil lamp. Then he tiptoed to Fino's door and knocked. Then he raced home to light a candle in his window, chasing away the dark and welcoming any lost travelers with a friendly smile. The river flowed with fresh water, the fields grew bountiful crops, and the mountains echoed with laughter. Everyone realized that luck wasn't just about being in the right place at the right time. Meanwhile, Fino used a long stick to create a makeshift pole, carefully reaching out to the trembling babies and guiding them one by one onto the safety of the bank. With the combined efforts of these unlikely heroes, all the ducklings were soon reunited with their grateful mother, quacking joyfully as they waddled away together. It was about opening your heart to help others and sharing the happiness within. They had learned that luck wasn't something you kept for yourself, but something you gave, shared, and multiplied. And in doing so, they had become the luckiest, bravest foxes in the whole wide world. "No," Rico said, hanging his head. "I'm sorry. I was wrong to take your lantern." The mountains echoed with their laughter, the rivers flowed with their generosity, and the sky shimmered with the magic they created whenever they chose to share their good fortune with those around them. And so the legend of Fino and Rico became a story whispered on the wind, carried on the backs of butterflies, and murmured by the babbling brooks, reminding every creature that true luck is not about holding on, but about giving. You are the luckiest fox I know, Fino, because you share your good fortune with everyone. And that is real magic. Rico sniffled and wiped a tear from his eye. "Will you still be my friend?" Fino asked. "Of course," Rico replied. "From now on, we'll be best friends." She listened to his tale and suggested they ask the wise old turtle for advice. To their surprise, the water had already begun to flow again, carrying with it seeds that sprouted into new plants and flowers. As they walked along the bank, Fino pointed to a patch of wilted sunflowers. "Let's help them, Rico." The two friends watered the plants, sang to the wilted flowers, and soon enough, they were back to their bright, cheerful selves. He had always been jealous of Fino's family, who he thought had more food than they knew what to do with. They had planted the seeds of kindness and watched as they grew into the most beautiful flowers in the valley. And every time they shared their good fortune with those around them, the seeds of kindness grew even more. The water was too fast and too strong for them to swim back to shore, and they were too young to understand how dangerous their situation was. Seeing their fear and distress, Rico and Fino knew they had to act quickly. The magic of the lantern is tied to Fino's heart, not to the lantern itself. So as long as Fino keeps his heart open and helps others, the lantern will continue to work its magic, no matter who holds it. Feeling confused, Fino asked, "But how can I help people if I don't have the lantern to make things grow?" The turtle smiled. "The greatest gift you can give is not magical, but even more precious. It is a gift of friendship and kindness. If you wish to bring back the river, go to the babbling brook. If you wish to warm the cold winds, climb the tallest tree. If you wish to guide lost travelers, light a candle in your window." "Can I see?" she asked eagerly. When Fino handed it over, she noticed a tiny inscription carved into the rim. It read, "To receive your luck, open wide your heart." Fino and Liana looked at each other, puzzled by the message. What did it mean? Just then, an old turtle ambled by. He had been watching them the whole time and offered his wisdom. "To open your heart," he explained, "is to do good deeds for others without expecting anything in return." So Fino decided to try it. Upon hearing Rico's wicked plan, the turtle nodded slowly. "And so that's what Fino did." He skipped happily to the babbling brook and sang a cheerful song until the water began to dance and swirl around him. When Rico saw the light shining from Fino's window, he peered inside. Fino opened the door and gasped in surprise. "Why are you here, Rico? Don't you want to steal my good luck?" Together, the two friends went to the river to see how it was doing. As the sun set, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Fino and Rico returned home. From that day on, Fino and Rico shared their good fortune with everyone, and the entire village flourished. One day, as Fino and Rico were playing by the river, they came across a group of baby ducks stranded on a small island in the middle of the stream. Without hesitation, Rico dove into the water, letting his strong arms and webbed feet guide him to the struggling ducklings. News of their bravery spread quickly, and soon Fino and Rico were known throughout the land not just for their good fortune, but for their courage and compassion. Together, they continued to help everyone in need, proving that with a kind heart and a helping paw, even the smallest creature can make a big difference.